I'm Frida Stuffer and I am working on some Wyoming baked beans. So right now the bacon is rendering. Bacon grease is cooking the onions. Bacon, I didn't use any bacon, just grease from yesterday. I think it's enough bacon flavor. I don't have to add any. And I'm going to chop these vegetables. You can watch me chop. I'm going to make them very small because I have some people who are picky about biting into carrots, cooked carrots. I've never liked biting into cooked carrots either. So here we go, chopping them up real small so they'll be in it, but we won't bite into a big piece. Okay, now that the onions are brown, we're going to add the beef. Since my phone is lost, I have to use my computer for this. I guess I'm in a Wyoming. I'm pretending to have a Wyoming chuck wagon right now. My kitchen is very small, so I like to pretend that it's a food truck, chuck wagon, or something small that has a small kitchen in it, and then I get creative with that as inspiration. But I will do what I can to make these lovely recipes. Since the beans are already cooked, I don't have to boil the beans, so it doesn't take as long. I'm using canned beans. And since I don't have celery, I was positive I had some, but I do not. I'm just going to use a pepper instead. Pepper goes well better with baked beans anyway, I think. And my kids like pepper flavor in beans. So I'm going to leave the sugar out because a lot of my kids are funny about having sweet in their savory dishes. They don't like sweet with meat, and this does have meat in it. So I'm just going to leave that sugar out. We don't need it. If I was going to make it sweet, I would use coconut sugar because coconut sugar is low FODMAP and low glycemic, and it would be okay for that purpose. But one time I bought some canned baked beans that just were brown sugar beans, and my kids didn't like them. So they said brown beans aren't supposed to be sweet. That's true. They have never eaten like beans with sugar in them. So beef is nearly brown. Chop this. I think I'm going to pop this in the food processor and really chop it, because I have kids that are quite picky about vegetable pieces of cooked vegetable. Yeah, these are going in the food processor. So I will pause you so you don't have to listen to that loud noise. Okay, I'm going to add these vegetables to the meat. It's just peppers and carrots. I'm going to cook it thoroughly now because the beans are canned. So, yeah, the beans are canned, so I don't have to cook them long. Okay, since the recipe asks for salt and pepper, I'm going to use this garlic pepper because it has salt in it too. And put more flavor. Now, I'm going to see how much ketchup I need. I'm going to mix the sauce here. I know you can see me, but I'm looking at my recipe on my computer screen. Okay, I'm going to put, how much? 2/3 cup ketchup. Well, I'm going to eyeball it and make 1/3 because I'm not going to double it. I mean, I'm having the recipe is what I mean. There, that's about 1/3 of a cup. And the molasses is about 1/2 tablespoon. I'm going to just drop a little in. Don't want to overdo that. That's enough sweet. And the ketchup already has some sweet in it. And then the mustard, just a teeny bit. And the allspice asks for 1/4 of a teaspoon, but I'm not even going to put that much in because allspice is pungent. And it asks for vinegar, so I'm going to put a little vinegar in there too. This is Dollar Tree vinegar, and it's the one that has the mother in it. It asks for 2 teaspoons, so I'm just going to put a teeny bit in, like a 1/2 teaspoon. I don't want to overpower the kids' palates with too much sour and sweet in these beans. They're going to be well flavored because I have that garlic pepper in it. Now let me taste. Maybe more vinegar. It's not too much. Yeah. But we just want it to be subtle. We don't want it to be like, ooh, sour beans. Now it's good. I like that these get vegetables in them. This is my Dollar Tree whisk. Now, give it a mix. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to be good, good. Very, very good. Cowboy food. Now I'm going to put the beans in, liquid and all, and then I'm going to let it simmer for a while. Yep, these are totally navy beans, definitely. Just says small beans, but they're definitely the navy style beans. Navy beans. The recipe asks for navy beans. Usually, baked beans don't usually have navy beans in them. At least the recipes I've always had don't have. Now this doesn't have to simmer long because these beans are pre-cooked, and the recipe said ask for dry beans to start with dry ones, but I'm not. So this is Wyoming style baked beans. Let me see how that sauce tastes. It could use some hot sauce, I think. Or let me read the recipe again. Definitely doesn't ask for any. So maybe I'll just put some more of this seasoning in. Oh. That one's not open either. I know I have one here that's open. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't. That steakhouse seasoning from Dollar Tree. Oh yeah. That's going to be really good by the end of the day. So I'm going to simmer it on real low. Okay, now I'm going to get this beef ready to go in the pan. I'm going to cut them a little smaller. They don't have to be this big because I want them to be bite-sized. Oops, I have to wash that. Don't have to be so big. So, bite-size. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, since the recipe asked, it doesn't say which vegetables to use. It just says 16 ounces of frozen vegetables. So I have this pepper and onion packet from Dollar Tree. It's 14 ounces. So I'm going to use that and add some carrots. And I'm going to spin them in my food processor as well to get the vegetables really small. After this, I'm going to make that Wyoming dip. And after that, I'm going to make the coleslaw. And when I go out to pick up the kids, I'm going to bring some celery, make celery sticks to dip in the dip. This meal has a lot of vegetables in it. Okay, dude, calm down. This afternoon, I hope I can take the kids swimming. Ali loves to swim. I'm glad he likes to swim because he's allergic to ants, so we don't want to take him to play in the grass anywhere. Muhammad can ride his bike at home, but right now the weather's just too hot for riding bikes. He does it all year most of the time, except in the hottest months of summer, he's not interested. I can't blame him. Going to put the lid on that. And I think I'm going to use the seasoning that I think I should use because my family have never liked anything I made with onion dip in it. I'm afraid they won't like it. Now carrots. Okay, I'm going to cut them in little pieces before I put them in the food processor because then they can chop easier. I I wouldn't mind having these vegetables that go with this beef a little bigger, but I have kids that won't eat cooked carrots. Do what we gotta do. There. I'm just going to pause you so you don't have to hear that loud noise. I'm not making these as small as the that went with the baked beans because they're still small, but not that small. They're slightly more coarse because I just think they need to be a tiny bit bigger for this kind of meal. We might eat these Wyoming meal for a couple of days. It might be enough for tomorrow too. So I might cook Wisconsin food after tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I might do that on Wednesday. Because if we have leftovers, then I don't want to cook a fresh meal if we have enough leftovers. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the broth to a boil. It asks for chicken broth, but the chicken broth at the store is not halal, so I'm using the vegetable broth. It asks for 14.75 ounces, but I just put 2 cups. That's 16 ounces. So, and it asks for a can of cream of chicken, but I'm using cream of onion because I don't use the cream of chicken. Cream of chicken is not halal for us. So I buy the cream of onion, the cream of celery, cream of asparagus, and all those, but I don't use the cream of chicken. And we're not really crazy about cream of mushroom either. So this is what I will do with this. And I'm going to heat it because I don't like to pour cold things onto meat that's already heated, because I feel like that shocks it and causes it to seize up. I don't want that to happen, so to use my whisk and whisk that together. And the recipe asks for the onion soup mix at this point. And I'm scared to put that in because in the past when I've used it, no one wanted to eat what I made. I think I'm going to use this Creole seasoning because we like things a little on the spicy side. I'm going to make sure my vegetables are very hot before I put them in with the meat. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of this Creole seasoning. It makes everything better. So even though they said put onion soup mix, I'm not. I think I wasted my money on that because my family does not like it. Now, I think I have one more dish or maybe two after this. Two, because the coleslaw. I need to make the coleslaw and the dip. But I'm using the fat-free cream cheese, so it's not as fatty. I think since I'm not going to use that onion soup mix, I'm going to use a little bit of this Creole brown gravy mix. It just doesn't have any animal product in it, so I'm going to use a little of this to help thicken the stew. Just about a tablespoon. I do a lot of eyeballing here, but I tasted it and added a little bit more of the Creole seasoning because I want to make sure it has plenty of seasoning. Now, when this boils, I'm going to put it in here with the meat. But for now, the meat is simmering here by itself. And I did not add any liquid here to the meat, but there is a lot of liquid here. I think this meat has some natural liquid in it. So I always watch that because I don't want to get too much liquid. There is a never-fail method to every kitchen. And that's taste testing. And smelling. Alright. Clean up some stuff and be back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to check these Wyoming baked beans. They are certainly coming along well. The recipe, if I had used dry beans, I would have put them in the oven and left them there for a couple hours. But since I'm using canned beans, I'm just going to keep them on low, real low, and let them cook real low for about an hour instead of 2 hours, because it just doesn't need to cook 2 hours. And that's really good. Yum. It tastes sweet enough, and I didn't even add any sugar. Now, when this starts to boil, I'm going to add it over there. Okay, now I'm going to start with the dip. It is called dry beef dip, Wyoming dry beef dip. But I don't know if people in Wyoming do this or not, but it feeds the idea we have of Wyoming, so I'm going to try it. It asked for a half cup of sour cream, which I forgot to add it to my list, so I didn't buy it. I looked at it at the store and I said, wasn't I supposed to get some sour cream? But it's not on my list. So here I am putting a third cup of olive oil mayonnaise in it instead of sour cream, because that is used in a lot of dips as well. Olive oil mayonnaise has less fat than regular, so I'm not gonna get too crazy about it. There's so many kitchen hacks that you can rescue your dish with without having to go back out and buy that thing. Like I replaced the celery with peppers, and that works well. That's what they do in Creole dishes a lot, and I have a notion they do that in Texas too, sometimes. So this is all the cheeses: the fat-free cream cheese, the cheddar cheese. It asks for white cheddar, but I'm using yellow because I couldn't find any Kroger brand white grated cheddar. Oh boy. Now I'm ready to put bacon in. And I am definitely going to go buy some celery for them to dip in this. Celery, and then I'll make carrot sticks and celery sticks, and maybe some raw broccoli. Now I'm going to add the, oh, because it got hot, so I'm going to add it here. The broth and the cream of onion and the vegetables. Now, I'm going to let these cook slowly. After it starts to simmer again, I'm going to turn it down and simmer it for quite a while so that meat can get soft. Tastes really good. Good flavor. I don't know, something inspired me to try recipes from every state. I believe probably a lot of people in Wyoming know about Wyoming Stew. I hope, because it tastes good. My two younger children are at camp today, and my twins are still sleeping. And they'll sleep till this afternoon when it's time to pick up the kids, because they stayed up all night playing games. We keep telling them we're going to make them go to bed earlier, but somehow we keep slipping, so they keep playing all night. All right. Now I'm going to make the bacon. I put the other two pots on the rarely used burners. I'm going to chop up, I don't know how many pieces. It asks, I think, for 2 ounces. So 3, 4. I'm going to use about half the pack. And this will make better bacon bits if I cut them up first before I put them in the pan. All right, the bacon bits are done. So here it is, ready. I decided not to go out and buy celery. I just wish I had bought some when I was out. But I do have some broccoli, raw broccoli to cut up. And I do have some carrots to cut up, and I think that's probably enough. So the last thing I have then is the coleslaw. This is done, and I'm going to mix the coleslaw. This was easy. I didn't see any halal beef jerky at the store at all, so this is fine. It's beef, so Wyoming has a lot of cows, so I guess that makes it Wyoming. There, I'm going to park that in the fridge. So clever me, I just realized I forgot one ingredient in the tip. It asked for a package of McCormick brown gravy mix, but I have Creole brown gravy mix, so I'm going to use the Creole. Going to taste test, and I'm going to go put 1 tablespoon, and then after I mix that, I'm going to taste it again. I knew I forgot something. I guess it'll taste more beefy with that gravy mix. Perfect. That was the missing element. 1 tablespoon. Yum. Yeah. Now I'm talking. Now I'm going to make the coleslaw, and I'm not going to make nearly as much as the recipe, so I'm going to third the dressing. Ouch. I'm going to use coconut sugar because it's pure and unrefined, and it's low glycemic and low FODMAP. Of course, which is high FODMAP anyway. But I always use this anyway. Oh, here's the third. Okay, that's it. All right, so there's that. And then it asks for white vinegar, but I don't have any. When I cook, I use the when I use it for eating, we always use the apple cider with the mother. And it asks for dry mustard, but I'm using this. I'm going to go look for to see if I have any celery seeds. I do. I do have some celery seeds. So I don't like to overdo celery seeds, and this is a very small batch, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, this is white pepper, in case you wanted to know. The recipe asks for corn oil, but yeah, good. Very good. I'm going to use the bacon grease instead of corn oil. Even better. And I'm going to put the angel hair coleslaw in there. And it still wants, the recipe still asks for a shredded onion, so I'm going to put one in the food processor now and process it. Yum, this is, ooh, yes. Very, very tasty. In it goes. There it is. Mmm. Now, put it in here so I can refrigerate it. I like these little date boxes for food storage because they snap really tight. Yum is perfect. I'm going to go put it in the fridge now. It's ready. This is Wyoming Stew in the pan with a crust.
That I probably will like, and that's probably all I will eat because it has, but everything else has like freaking onions and cooked carrots.
So there it is. If you don't eat the filling, you don't eat the crust, okay?
Why?
Thanks for watching. We're going to enjoy this. Bye. Keep your hands off if you're not going to eat it.